Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group. I'm your host, Leon Gordon, and as always, we're back with another fantastic and inspirational session to learn as part of our community and continue to grow in your Power BI skills and development. As always, we want this to be a very interactive session, so please do feel free. The Q&A is now open to ask questions throughout the session, and we'll do our best to make sure that they're all answered at the end of today's session. We're going to explore the hidden differences between Power BI Pro and Premium with Mohammed Adnan. So Mohammed is a Microsoft MVP with over 15 years of experience in Microsoft technologies, including industry experience from manufacturing, import-export, supply chain, construction, and workforce management. He also has a Power BI YouTube channel with over 50 plus hours of videos, mainly for Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, PVA, and Microsoft business applications as well. So you can all agree that we're in great company today, and I'll just put you live with Mohammed.
Good evening, good morning, and good night, maybe some of the area. Okay, so as Leon has just went through all my experience and everything, so I don't want to cover this again. So we can skip this and we can jump into the session right away. So today we are going to discuss about the hidden difference between Power BI Pro Premium per user and Premium per capacity. So usually there are lots of Microsoft documentation available, but still there are few of the things which need to be dig into deeper in order to get the better understanding between these three. So now we are going to cover in these three areas. The first is collaboration and analytics. The second is data preparation, modeling, and visualization. And the third is governance and administration. Okay. So first we'll look into the collaboration and analytics, which is already there in the documentation. The first is like mobile app access, which is available for Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium per user, and Premium per capacity. And publish report and share and collaborate. So if you want to publish a report and share and collaborate with the other users, then you must have Power BI Pro license or Power BI Premium per user. If you have Power BI Premium per capacity, then you may not be able to publish the report. And the next thing is the paginated report. So for this, it is not available for Power BI Pro. It's only available for PPU and Premium per capacity. And the next thing is consume content without a per user license. So this is only available in Power BI Premium per capacity. And also, if you want to use the on-prem reporting server, SQL Server reporting server with the Power BI report server, then you have to have Power BI Premium per capacity license. These both of them will not work. Now, the hidden features. The hidden features like analyzing Excel, it's available for Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium per user, and Premium per capacity. And also the features like Q&A, which is also available for 3 of the licenses. And the next thing is the goals, which is still in preview and they're still developing on. But as of now, as per the documentation, it is only applicable, available in Power BI Premium per user and Premium per capacity. Like the same way, the quick insight, I think which was recently 2 or 3 months back introduced one. This is only available for Power BI Premium per user and Premium per capacity. And regarding the email subscription, this actually we need to go in detail here. So email subscription only for pro users, if you have license, then it's possible to send the pro user email IDs. So it is applicable only for these 3 licenses. But if you want to send an email subscription to the non-pro users or to an Azure Active Directory or Active Directory group of people, then the Power BI Pro and Premium per user will not work. You have to have Premium per capacity. And if you want to export and send an email with Power Automate, with the help of Power Automate, so that you can distribute to the largest number of audience, at that time also you may need Power Automate license and Power BI Premium per capacity. This will not work if you have Premium per user also and also Power BI Pro. So this is actually main difference between this thing. So most of the people have asked about me about the difference between this. So here it is. So these are the things for the first area. And regarding the second topic, which is data preparation, modeling, and visualization. And these are all the existing features, which is like the model size. The maximum we can have is 1 GB if you have a Power BI Pro license. And if you have Power BI Premium per user, then 100 GB is the maximum per model size. And for premium per capacity is 400 GB. Regarding the data refresh rate, it can be only 8 times a day we can refresh for an import mode. Whereas if we have premium per user and premium per capacity, we can keep up to 48 times a day. And also we can connect to more than 100 plus data sources in Power BI. We can use it on 3 of the licenses. And we can create report and visualization using Power BI Desktop. It's possible if you have the Pro license, premium per user, or premium per capacity. Even if you don't have any license, Power BI Desktop is absolutely free. You can start and build your dashboard by report by your own. And use of Power BI REST APIs, it's possible if you have Power BI Pro license, Power BI Premium per user, or Premium per capacity. And the use of AI visuals. The AI visuals like key influencer, decomposition tree, and smart narrative suggestions. So all these things are AI visuals, and this is also possible if you have Pro, PPU, or per capacity license. And manual aggregation of tables. So this was there since the beginning. So it is applicable to all the 3 licenses. And then advanced AI features like text analytics, image detection, and automated machine learning. So all these things is possible only if you have premium per user license or premium per capacity license. And also the XMLA endpoint or read-write connectivity. These are also only applicable if you have premium per user license or premium per capacity license. And the data flows. So incremental refresh, direct query, link and computed entities and enhanced compute engines is applicable to Power BI Premium per capacity. Now you may wonder that why data flow is not available for Pro. Actually, it is available, right? So I will show you in the next slide. So these are the hidden features now in terms of data preparation, modeling, and visualization. The first is dataset refresh rate. As I said in the last screen, it's possible only for 8 times a day. So even if you refresh the dataset, if you have Pro license and if you refresh it via API by using the PowerShell script or something else, then also you can able to refresh only 8 times a day. That's the limitation here. Whereas if you have Power BI Premium per user, then for the rest APIs, there is no clear information available. So I kept it blank. But I believe as this is a premium per user, it's applicable the same way how it is for premium per capacity. For premium per capacity, it's unlimited if you are refreshing your data set via REST API. But if it is unlimited, then it is not a good practice to refresh it within a period of less than 15 minutes. If you really need that kind of refresh rate, then it is good to use a direct query instead of going for the refresh of within a 10 minutes of time. And regarding a dataset refresh duration limit. So if you have a big data set and if you want to refresh it, and if this goes beyond 2 hours in Power BI service refresh, then it will throw an error if you have Power BI Pro license. Whereas for the Power BI Premium per capacity, it can extend up to 5 hours of duration. And the same information is not available for Premium per user. So I also believe that it's also applicable to 5 hours maybe. And dataset query caching. So this is applicable for import dataset so that you can cache your dataset in order to increase the performance of your report. So this is applicable only for import dataset and it is only applicable in Power BI Premium per capacity. Even though if you buy Power BI Premium per user, there are lots of things which you may not be able to get these features. Like this is one of them. And dataset incremental refresh. So this is applicable to all the 3 licenses. And visual rendering. So this is actually a new thing, visual rendering, which is not applicable to Power BI Pro and Power BI Premium per user. And whereas comes to Power BI Premium per capacity, it's takes only 225 seconds. If your measures or something which runs beyond 225 seconds, then this will throw an error that timeout expired or thing. This is adopted. I mean, this comes when Power BI Microsoft launched Premium Gen 2 actually. It was not there in Gen 1. Once the launch after Gen 2, this was the limitation they have set. And automatic aggregation of tables. So in the previous slide, we have seen about manual aggregation of tables. That is, user can define by ourselves. That's really an amazing thing which we want to do in order to reduce the performance and increase the performance of your report. So here is the thing, like automatic aggregation of tables, which is also a new thing, which is applicable to Power BI Premium per user and Premium per capacity. It is not there for Pro licenses. Regarding the data flows, it's actually available for Power BI Pro, and dataset flow is not applicable for Power BI Premium per user. And also it is applicable to Power BI Premium per capacity. Whereas for the data flows, there's newly introduced one is like streaming data flows, which is still in preview. This is also only applicable if you have Power BI Premium per capacity licenses. Okay, so now moving on to the last part here. So the governance and administration. The Power BI features like data security and encryption, which is applicable to Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium per user, and Premium per capacity also. And metrics for content creation, consumption, and publishing, all these things, it is also possible. Like you can see the usage metrics and everything that is applicable for all their license types. And application lifecycle management, like deployment pipelines. If you want to deploy a report from development, test, and production, so that is possible only if you have Power BI Premium per user or Premium per capacity. And I want to mention one thing here, that if you're using the deployment pipeline, then you can able to assign to only one workspace for that. Like for example, if you're deploying it, if you're adding it deployment pipeline for the production workspace, the test and development workspace Power BI itself will create for those. If you have 3 workspaces, then you may not be able to assign these 3 workspaces to deployment pipeline because Power BI itself is creating other 2 workspaces. And regarding memory and CPU management. So if you have Premium per capacity license, in Gen 1, there was an option which we can manage our data set and paginated report, EAE, and data flow consumption based on our capacity. But initially, when they launched Gen 2, it was not there. But recently, like last month, I think they have also given the option in Gen 2 so that we can also manage the capacity of memory and CPU consumption based on the data type. Like for data set this much, for data flow this much, the capacity admin can change those settings. And multi-geo deployment management. So you can also change your location of your Power BI tenant and deploy it on multiple locations, which is applicable only for Power BI Premium per capacity. And then we have Power BI, bring your own key, which is only applicable for Premium per capacity. And also the auto scale add-on availability. So this is also applicable for Gen 2 users. So they have newly introduced these features also, which is actually when, for example, if you have P1 license and if you are seeing this metric report that you are hitting the capacity 100% on a regular frequently basis, like 1 week or 2, then in that case, you have an option that instead of buying a P2 license from P1 to P2, which will cost almost double, so you can use this add-on facility, which is once this get activated, it will activate for 24 hours and it will charge around $85 per core for 24 hours in a month per user, right? So it means, so once it gets activated, then it will activate for 24 hours. So please make sure whenever you go for a license for auto scale and for Power BI Premium per capacity. And if you need the license for frequently it is hitting your auto scale capacity, then you need to reconsider your capacity license, whether you have to go with auto scale or you have to go with P2. That's one thing. And the other thing we have here is the maximum storage. So if you have Power BI Pro license, then we can have 10 GB per user. And if you have Premium per capacity or Premium per user, we have up to 100 terabytes of storage here. So we can make use of those things. And the last hidden feature about the governance is not much there. The only thing is we have Power BI Premium Gen 2 metric apps. From there, we can able to monitor about how this capacity and CPU and everything is managing and what the usage of it. And also there is Azure Log Analytics is there. If you have workspace and if you want to maintain the logs in a separate Azure Log Analytics, then we can also add that workspace to Azure Log Analytics. From there, we can monitor and extract all these log informations from there. Okay, so and here is one thing which I want to mention you again. If you have Power BI per user license, this is actually a bit complicated in terms of usage here. So if you can see here on the top, we have the users with the license type can view or access the content. And on the left side, it's actually the workspace type. So if you have the pro workspace and if you have the pro license, then user can able to see the content. And if you have the pro workspace and if you have premium per user license, then you can able to see the content. If you have the pro license, I mean pro workspace, and the user is not, the user doesn't have pro license, but it's just an user added for capacity license, then he may not able to see the data inside, see the content inside the pro workspace. Whereas in the same way, if you have premium per user workspace, and if you have pro license, then you may not able to see the content inside to that. And if you have premium per user license and premium per user workspace, then you can able to see this one. And also if you have premium per capacity, then you're not able to see that. So this is actually really tied up. If you are going for a premium per user license, then whoever you want to share the report, they also must have premium per user license. This actually makes sure that whenever you're buying the license, you need to consider these things. And the one thing is premium per capacity. So if the user has the license, the workspace is a premium per capacity and user has a pro license, then they can able to see this content. And if the user has premium per user, then also can able to see the content. And even if they don't have any license, if you add the user in the capacity, then also they can see the content. So here the best part we can see here is the last one, but the last one is actually an expensive one. Okay. Moving on to the next one. The last thing which I want to show it here is when there is a requirement that if you are deciding to switch from your workspace from Power BI Premium to Power BI Pro, then there is a warning which comes up here. Do you want to remove this workspace from premium capacity? So all content in the workspace will only be available to the users who have a Power BI Pro license. So this first thing you need to make sure, and will be migrated back to your home region. This is the second thing. And any content using Enterprise Gateway may need to be updated via enable data refresh after migration. Okay. And paginated report, which is also only available for premium license. And if any content cannot be viewed, usage and performance logs will no longer be flowed to Azure Log Analytics, and no history will be saved while not on premium. So this is one thing. And if you notice in the red, which I'm mentioning it here, any workspace migrated from PPU environment or a non-PPU environment, such as Premium Gen 2, or a shared environment, must have its datasets refreshed again before use. So reports opened after migration without dataset being refreshed will fail with an error similar to the following. This operation is not allowed as the database is in a blocked state. So please make sure whenever you do this kind of transactions to consider all these things, that you may get these features and you may not get these features, and you need to refresh the dataset whenever possible. So that's it. These are some few important things which I want to highlight about the difference between the Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium per user, and Premium per capacity. All right, now I am available for a few of the Q&A sessions. If something is there, I can take up something.
Fantastic, Mohammed. Thank you very much for going through that in a bit more detail for us. We really appreciate it. We do have a couple of questions. One of our questions that's come in is, what should be some of our decision points in terms of choosing license types, the difference between Pro, PPU and Premium? What really should we be thinking about as a business before deciding on a license type?
Yeah, that's actually a good thing. The main I can say is the premium per user is consists of $20 per user per month, right? So for an example, if you take that as consideration, just a second. So 20, and the premium per capacity consists of $5,000 per capacity, right? So if you have the users which is more than like 250, then it is good to go ahead with Power BI per capacity instead of going with Power BI premium per user license. And even there is a much difference between, I mean, there are found few other features which is not available for premium per user also. That also we need to consider that. If some of the features which we need and that is only available in premium per capacity, then we have to go ahead with the premium per capacity itself.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We have an anonymous question as well. Is there a limitation to the capacity of a workspace with Pro and PPU licenses?
Sorry, come again. Is there any capacity?
Is there a limitation to the capacity of a workspace with Pro and PPU licenses?
Limitation to the workspaces. In the sense of capacity, yes. As I mentioned in this one, it's let me just open up the same thing. At the last screen, I think I had one. Yeah, this is the one. So if you have the Pro license, then we have 10 gigabytes of capacity per user. But if you have Power BI Premium per user, then we have up to 10 terabytes of storage capacity.
Excellent. Thank you for clearing that up for us. And also a last one, which I think may have just been a typo on the slide. So anonymous question asks, as they say, they had no idea that data flows can't be used for PPU. Is there any more information? Because they always recommend data flows. Now, I believe data flows is available for PPU. So I think that may just be a typo within the slide. For example, the AI capabilities and the machine learning become enabled when you use PPU, and the machine learning model is part of is built on top of a data flow as well. So it might just be worth double checking that.
Exactly.
But, aside from that, like I said, that's all of the questions that we've had in so far. We will just give it a moment or two, just in case there are any further questions. But I think the fantastic thing with the new structuring, at least to the Power BI licensing type, it is obviously the introduction of PPU. It does put a lot of those premium only features within a good price point, like you really greatly called out there, Mohammed, in terms of the user base. When we're looking at over 250 users, there does become that tipping point as such, as you mentioned, where having the PPU and then going to a premium capacity does play a part.
Yeah, that's correct.
Excellent. It doesn't appear to be any more questions coming in just yet. And I'm also conscious that, as I mentioned before, it's very, very late in India, and we really appreciate your time in joining us in today's session as well. As we've given all of your social media links. So if you do want to, feel free to follow and subscribe to Mohammed on all of those as well, and stay tuned for some more great content. And as always, Mohammed, it's been great having you with us.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. And as always with our user group, thank you very much for joining us for another opportunity to learn more on Microsoft Power BI. And you could have been anywhere in the world, but you've been here with us at the Microsoft Power BI UK user group in association with Onyx Data. Stay safe and see you soon.